Precies 2 jaar geleden, op 7 oktober 2023, werd Israël opgeschrikt door een ongekende aanval van Hamas. Een van de zwaarst getroffen plaatsen in Israël was Kfar Aza, een kibbutz vlakbij de Gazastrook. Daar zat Hadass Elon Karmi samen met haar familie urenlang verscholen in een bunker, terwijl buiten een bloedbad plaatsvond. 2 jaar later spreken we met Hadass over die dag, over het verlies van haar broer Tal, hoe haar leven sinds die dag is veranderd en over de vraag of haar leven ooit weer normaal kan worden. Hadass, welcome in our studio and thank you for coming here.
Thank you for having me.
So 2 years ago, 2 years have passed since October 7th, 2023. How do you feel when you look back on these past 2 years?
Actually, I don't feel that it's been 2 years. I'm still on October 7th. Hostages haven't come back. Kfar Aza is still almost empty. My family lives all around in other places. My brother is gone, and we are really trying to recover. Some, will say people back to work and normal life, but nothing is normal.
Nothing is normal.
Nothing is normal.
So how has your life changed since then? Because you grew up in Kfar Aza, but it was not a place where you lived.
Yeah. So we used to come and visit Kfar Aza every month, about every month, every 3 weeks, every month and a half, like it's changing. On October 6th, we came for Simchat Torah. I'm living in Jezreel Valley, which is
a bit more in the north of Israel, right?
Yeah, in the northern part of Israel. And for me, coming to Kfar Aza on this date, being a part of this thing with my family, actually, people ask me, oh, you found the date to go there. And I say, I had to be there. So I was there with my family, and it's a very crucial point in my life because I feel that I had to be there. But, thinking about it, if I was at home and experiencing it from outside, for me, I think the feeling was different and maybe even heavier because it's
more difficult to bear then.
Yeah, more difficult to bear.
Is there a Hadass before 7th of October and after 7th of October?
Well, it's the same Hadass, just with a broken heart. I believe in peace. I believe in people. I believe that in all around the world, people want to live quietly and safely. And for me, experiencing this thing that is, unhuman and not even religious-based, or it's just, cruelty, pure cruelty, broke my heart.
Yeah.
And so it's not exactly a dust before and a dust after, but it really did break my heart.
Yeah. So you were a survivor of this Hamas attack. How did it impact your life after October 7th? Because I can imagine, you describe all the things that happened, and we're going to talk about that later. But what changes came into your life?
Actually, the biggest change is a change with my priorities. I understood a lot about the importance of, first of all, being with my family. Secondly, doing things that are meaningful in our life, acting for goodness, for peace, making a difference. I used to work at Microsoft, which is a global corp. And since then, I wasn't really able to get back to work. It took me a lot of time just to get back to the offices and start functioning. But also when I started functioning and doing my job, I was less happy about it. I was less enthusiastic about it. I really felt that I had to do something different.
Other things are more important.
A lot of the other things are more important, yeah. And I wanted to do, meaningful things to make a difference and to help people, to emphasize the importance of the community, and to be more with my family, to see my daughters, to be with them. It's a really, you know, change of perspective.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to take you back to that day, October 7th, 2023. How did you wake up in the morning?
Well, we slept at my mom's house because we were guests. I grew up in the kibbutz, and I left about 25 years ago. You know, I did the regular course of, you know, Tel Aviv University, first of all Army, then Tel Aviv University, and then I got married, and then my daughters were born. So I used to live in the center and then up north. We used to visit. My daughters kind of, you know, grew up in the summers in the kibbutz at their grandmother, and my brothers lived there. When my brother Tal got back to the kibbutz, a few years after him, my brother Dekel got back to the kibbutz. So I had a big family in the kibbutz.
So enough people to visit there. So,
yeah, a lot of people to visit, and we used to come there every once in a while. Very no fear. When I grew up in Kfar Aza, you know, our guard of the kibbutz, of the gate of the kibbutz, was Ahmed. He was from Gaza, and him and his family were invited to all the, you know, the holidays in Kfar Aza. We used to live very, you know, very nice with our neighbors.
Neighbors, yeah, exactly. But then you woke up on this day, 7th of October. So what happened there?
So we woke up on October 7th, and we heard, you know, the red alarm, the red color red alarm, and then we ran straight to the safe room, and very soon we understood that it's something different, because we heard, beside all the bombings and the alarm, we also heard shootings, and we started receiving messages.
Because just to sketch it a bit, you know, Kfar Aza is very close to the Gaza border, so all the people living there or staying there, they were used to regular rocket shooting.
Yeah, which is kind of also weird crazy. And very crazy to live in a daily danger of having, you know, running to the safe room for 10 minutes and then getting, you know, going back to work and living like this.
Yeah, but this was different, you say.
But this was different, because we also started here shootings, and also the bombings were very, very, very frequent. My mom, because she lives in a kibbutz, she used to it, and she wanted to make coffee. And my daughter and her cousin, my niece, who was sleeping in our house as well, in my mom's house as well, and they told her, no, get in with us to the safe room. It's very scary. We hear shootings, not only bombings.
No.
So we got into the safe room.
Yeah, so did you at that moment, what time was it in the morning?
6:29.
Did you have any idea what was happening outside?
Nothing, nothing, and it took hours, even days, to understand what was going on. In the beginning, we thought, you know, there was a few terrorists you know, invading the kibbutz and attacking the kibbutz. And apparently after that, we found out that at the same time, my brother Tal, in his house, he told his family, it's not time to be heroes, you have to get in the safe room. And he went and took weapon and just ran towards the terrorists. And he got murdered in the same morning. We didn't even know that.
No.
So we sat in the safe room and just started hearing, you know, on WhatsApp groups, people seeing terrorists coming, you know, from the window. They saw terrorists coming towards their houses. They were writing. We hear shootings. We hear we see people with green ribbons, not ribbons, just like
the bandanas.
Bandanas, the green bandanas. We see them running towards us. And then we heard about our consul, Ophir Lipstein. He was killed first, and it was all over the media. We don't have a television at the safe room, but we heard this on the WhatsApp group. So
it was all coming in on the phones.
All coming in on the WhatsApp groups.
So what did you think? Because you were there with your mother and your daughters. What did you think then?
I was there with my mother and one of my daughters and my niece, Tal's kid, Tal's girl, and also my younger brother. we didn't know what to think. I thought maybe, you know, there was a one small group that invaded the kibbutz and they're killing, and in a minute the army will come, our, you know, first responders, civilian group will kill them, will catch them. I don't know.
No,
but
in a minute, be rescued. Yeah.
Yeah, in a minute it will all be over. A few minutes, 1 hour. I don't know. We didn't know the extent of it. We didn't know what's happening.
Because it didn't happen.
Never, never. And in our worst dreams, our worst nightmares, we never thought it could be something that big. Even running forward to a day after when we got rescued, when we still thought it's our kibbutz only. And only a day after we started to understand that it was all the Gaza envelope, all the kibbutzes around us. About Nova we just heard, you know, a day or few days. I don't even remember when we heard about the festival.
Yeah, but it was only later that you heard about the other kibbutzes and Nova Festival, etc.
Yeah.
But then you're there, you're stuck in the safe room with your daughter, with your mother, with your niece. What do you do?
So actually, when people ask me, you know, it was so many hours, what did you talk about? We didn't talk a lot. We were very silent. We were listening because Saturday morning at about 10:30, we started hearing Allahu Akbar, shoutings, and the shootings got very close to us.
Voices outside.
Voices outside our safe room. We got very scared. We jumped on the door. We held the door. Somebody tried to open it. We fought them. We don't know who it is. And a few minutes later, we started hearing talking in Hebrew in our house, in my mom's house. We listened very carefully, and then we understood the words are in Hebrew. Somebody shot my back, somebody shot my leg, and then we understood there are soldiers in our house.
Yeah.
And we opened the door, and there was a wounded soldier.
In the house?
In the house, yeah. His name is Yona Brief. He was taken to emergency room, and he was there for 417 days. And then he died. He didn't make it.
No.
But he was more than a year on emergency room. And we saw him. He was wounded. And we saw some soldiers around him trying to treat him. Two soldiers, they told us to close the door, don't get out. We asked for water. We didn't have any water. So we asked for water and to go out to the toilets. And they let us go one by one to the toilets. They said, we'll bring you water. You don't go out.
Because it was still too dangerous outside.
Yeah, it was very dangerous. All our house was surrounded by terrorists. And two of the soldiers, you know, they opened the window of the kitchen. They stood one side, you know, they opened both sides, and they stood on the kitchen. And they, you know, aiming there, they're protecting the house, actually. And we went to the bathroom one by one, to the toilet, and they brought us water and closed the door. And then two of them got in and they told us, they asked us to open the Google map and just to explain them, you know, where's the swimming pool, where's the dining room, just to map the kibbutz for them. So my niece and my mom did it for them, and then my niece entered one of them to the kibbutz WhatsApp group, so he can be in touch with all the people that are asking for help. People just started to scream for help, to see, you know, my son is wounded, he's in this building, he's in that environment, just save him, go and take him. Like very crazy. I think every second there were 10 messages. It was endless.
Yeah.
It was very scary.
Of course.
So after they came to our safe room, they went out. They stayed in our house. We felt a little bit safer, but after that, they were evacuated. They had cars take them to other places to fight, and their wounded outside.
Yeah, so you were alone again.
And we were alone again, yeah. We asked them if there are any casualties, and they wouldn't answer. But apparently they lost 2 soldiers already by then.
Right.
They lost 2 soldiers, and they have some wounded.
Yeah.
And
So
then
how long did this continue?
This was Saturday noon. They left around afternoon or so. And then we were alone again. Our electricity fell. We didn't have electricity. We didn't have any connection, any network. The only network that was working was my niece's phone. So we had a little bit of connection from outside. Her phone was started, to run low of battery. I'm sorry. And then in the evening, my daughter, she reminded her that she had a cable that can charge her phone from our phones.
Okay.
So we just gave her our phones to use it as a battery, and this was
because
something
this was the only phone actually working.
Yeah. Our phones weren't working. It was useless, just like, a charger.
Yeah.
So it was lucky that she had this cable, so we can keep on being in contact with the external world. Otherwise, we were contact lost. We were like, my friends tell me, you were last seen on WhatsApp on 12:33 noon, and then they thought they lost me.
So then next, because then the evening comes.
Yeah, the evening comes, and again we were very, quiet. We were very stressed, and we already all the time listening. We wanted to hear if somebody's running towards our house. And then at 10:30 p.m., we heard some voices, and somebody knocked our door. We were again listening. They said it's the army. They had a password because also, terrorists were saying it's the army, open. So they said the code that we opened, and then they said they came to clear the house from terrorists. And after them, there's going to be a rescue unit that will come to take us out. It was very weird because they closed the door and went. So, we didn't know terrorists can come between them and the rescue team. So we didn't understand the... but they gave us they gave us 2 more bottles of water, and we went to the toilet again, like it was on break. But then night came and nobody came to rescue us. They probably skipped our house because towards the night, towards the morning, some families around us were already rescued, and we were still there.
Yeah.
We were on, darkness, and my daughter found a kind of a LED lights she had in her bag.
So to give a little bit of light.
So it was on battery, so it was like purple light in our safe room. But we started to run out of air because we didn't have air conditioner. We were 5 people in a very small room. We didn't have enough water. We just drank very, very little, each one of us, to give, to leave some for the others. My daughter was most of the time under the bed, very, very frightened. Gali was some of the time with her. My niece was some of the time with her, some of the time outside with her phone. She also she was sending messages to the soldiers and trying to to connect between people that are crying for help in the groups to the soldiers that were that entered our house, and she took their number.
But what do you say to your daughter? If she's being so afraid, you cannot say things are going to be all right because you don't know. But what do you say?
Actually, I don't remember. I really don't remember. I think we were all, I can remember we were trying to hug more, but speaking, I don't know, words, I don't think there were words in these situations.
There's no words.
No words, no. Just hug and try to, to feel the breathing and to feel the heartbeat and to, breathe more deeply and try to relax. But, I cannot say everything will be all right. No. Although I did say it once, my niece said she's worried about her dad because we didn't hear from him.
No.
And I told her, your dad is a hero, he'll be okay.
Yeah.
And I really believed in it at that stage.
Yeah. So tell me about the moment that you and your family were rescued.
On Saturday, it started on the fact that on Saturday we still weren't rescued, and my other brother, Dekel, was already rescued at night. So he tried to send forces to us. He knew that we are still there. And actually, they didn't even write to Gali's phone. They just looked and they saw that she's connected, and it was enough for them to see that we're still alive, because they didn't want to use her battery, or they wanted us to be still able to contact. So he tried externally, and also other people tried. My friends tried, but so somebody from Air Force called us on Saturday around noontime. He said, "Your house is surrounded. We know that you're there. We're going to send rescue team the minute we will be able to, and please hold the door and don't let anyone in." And it's a horrible thing to hear, because it's something you say for people that are going to die. Like if the army haven't come until now, and they say they cannot come. I don't know, but I really didn't feel that we're going to die. I don't know why, but it was scary. It was very, very scary. And then he said, "There's another soldier that's going to call you." So another soldier called, and she talked with Gali, and she said, "We're going to send force to you in a few minutes. Please hold on with me on the line." And she said to her, "We have no batteries, so please call
later.
We will call me when they're here, so we can know to prepare." And then an hour and a half passed, and she didn't call. So we called back to her, and she answered, and she said, "Oh, I'm off shift. I'm not in the office anymore." And we were like, "What? Are the people that going off shift in this situation? We are surrounded by terrorists, and you said that they're going to rescue us, and then you're going home?" Like, I don't know. It was very weird. So then what happened was, didn't have anything to do with our rescue trials, because forces have arrived to the kibbutz, and they started to bomb with tanks. They started to bomb houses around us that had terrorist headquarters inside them.
Right.
And one of the houses next to us was bombed. And the soldiers that bombed it, they saw two terrorists running towards our house. And they entered the house, and we heard the bomb, the big boom, and then we heard steps running towards our house and smashed glasses. And we held the handle very tight. Again, we jumped on the handle. I had a knife. Every time we jumped on the handle, I had a knife there. My mom gave my brother a knife for the holiday.
Yeah.
She got one as a present. So I just held it, and I knew that I knew that I need a plan, because if I didn't have a plan, I'll freeze. So I just planned, in my head, like a very veteran commando warrior. And I thought that it had helmets and shields, and then I'd go on the neck because it's bare. And I really planned it, because it doesn't have anything to do with the fact that it is not realistic that I kill somebody, but I just needed a plan to not freeze.
Right.
So they ran, two terrorists, they ran into our house. We held the handle, and I held the knife, and they were on a run, so they didn't try probably very hard. We were lucky, but then they went to another room, and the soldiers, because they saw them, they came after them, and they knocked our door, and they asked us, "How many civilians are you?" And we said we're 5. "Everybody's here. None of you went out?" We said, "Yeah, we're all here." And they closed the door. They said, "Stay inside. Don't go out." And okay, we didn't understand. Did you come to rescue us? We didn't know at that minute that terrorists are in the house. We just heard the footsteps. We didn't know who tried to open the door. We just, and then we heard, after they closed the door, we heard a lot of shootings and smashed glasses, and a lot of balagan, we said, a lot of mess.
Mess, yeah. So there was fighting going on
inside our house, and while we are in the safe room,
yeah.
and they opened it again another time. They wanted to make sure that everyone is there, that that the terrorists that came didn't take a hostage to the next room, or they wanted to make sure that no other civilians are in the house, because they shot a room which was closed and somebody was there.
Yeah.
So the fight is going on, and the third time they came to our safe room, they just opened a very narrow
gap.
Yeah, and they told us, when we open the door wide, you are going to take nothing with you and just run, shallow run, run low, one by one through the balcony, and soldiers are waiting for you there. They'll take you to a safe place. Do it fast. And they opened the door wide. All the house was full of smoke, and a group of 5 or 6 soldiers was standing, just like wall between us and the back of the house, protecting us from there was a battle there, and we were running one by one, and they took us to another house, like 50 meters from there. And after a few minutes, all the soldiers evacuated the house, and the tanks, just shot a bullet inside the house.
They destroyed it with the terrorists.
They destroyed the house internally with the terrorists.
And this was how you got out? This was on Sunday? At what time?
On Sunday at 3 p.m.
3 p.m. So you had been like 1.5 days as a prisoner in the house of your mother.
Yeah.
So then?
Then they took us to another house, and we were waiting for a car to take us outside the kibbutz. In the other house, there was already air conditioner and light, and I remember a bowl with grapes. We didn't eat for 35 hours, and I was starving, but I had no appetite. I couldn't eat anything, but I was starving. It's like the first time I understood the difference between appetite and hunger.
Yeah.
It's
something
things.
different.
Yeah. So I remember taking a grape and drinking some water and feeling the coolness of the air conditioner. But it took an hour to take us out of this house, to bring an armed car that could take us out of the kibbutz.
Yeah. So after living through such a horror, you also told us that your brother Tal, who was head of the security of Kfar Aza, he was killed. How can you pick up normal life again after such a traumatic experience for you, for your family, for everyone, but especially for yourself?
What is normal? First of all, the life in Israel are not normal. But for me, normal is understanding the priorities in life, and having the strength to get up every morning and hugging my daughters and smiling again, which took me a while. And we didn't know what's with my brother, so it took us like 2.5 days. We called every possible hospital to see if there is an anonymous soldier or something that he might be evacuated. We knew that he was wounded because he sent a message to his group, his soldiers, saying that he was wounded and that they are terrorists. They're wearing army uniforms and they have M16 with them. And he said, first kill them, and then we'll take care of the wounded.
Yeah.
And then he got shot again. Now we knew it just afterwards. So it took about 3 days for somebody from the kibbutz to identify his body, but then we had to wait 7 more days to the official identification.
Confirmation of it. Yeah. So you have been through a horrific time. The whole country also of Israel has been through a horrific time. 2 years now of war. Do you think, in your opinion, Israel at some time will be the country again as it was on October 6th, 2023?
I hope it will be much better than October 6th, 2023. I hope these events, it's not even one event, it's events. I really hope it will be a wake-up call for good people to get in to the leadership of Israel and take it to a moral place again, and to a place that is good for the civilians, all the civilians, and not only for themselves. I hope politics will be clean and honest, and again representing the people and not themselves. I believe it can happen.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for it to happen.
So you're optimistic about the future?
I cannot be not optimistic, because otherwise I wouldn't, I wouldn't have been able to live. I need to believe that something will change. And after we were evacuated from the kibbutz, they took us to Shfaim, and all the kibbutz was there for more than a year. I got a room with my daughter, and my other daughter joined us a day after, which, it's a whole different story. She passed all this from outside, losing her mom and her sister like 3 times at that day and a half.
Yeah.
So she joined us, and we were actually, I couldn't go home because I couldn't, get back to normal life, which I'm a mom in it, and, cooking and laundry and working, and I just couldn't, I just had to understand how to breathe again and realize that we're alive. So I stayed with all the people of Kfar Aza, which some of them I grew up with.
It helped also.
It was a life-saving for me. Just getting up in the morning, going to the dining room, having someone cook me the meals, and then getting into the dining room and seeing all these faces, which is, you don't have to speak. They know what you've been through.
Because they've been through the same.
Yeah. And every face is a different story, a different safe room, another horrible story. And just sitting with them in the evenings and hearing these stories, it's like kind of normalizing your own story and understanding that they understand you.
Yeah.
And then be with my brother's friends and hearing stories about him. And then funeral and Shiva in Shfaim, not in his house. And it was a very, like, I don't know, an external reality that, we were like we were in a communal Shiva.
Together with all these people with grief.
Yeah.
Now, thousands of Christians worldwide are praying for Israel, are praying for families like yourself. They stand with Israel already for the past 2 years. How can we support you? How can we support the people of Israel?
First of all, knowing that Christians support Israel is heartwarming, very heartwarming. Because I'm a peace person. I believe that, every person on earth should, live with his belief and his religion and his tradition and whatever he chooses to live, however he chooses to live, and respect other people that would like to, live their own lives. So it's heartwarming, and I appreciate it very much.
And what can we do more, according to you?
According to me, I think good, I forgot the word for hasbara, for... it's like for...
speaking out for Israel.
Speaking out for Israel, yeah. Mentioning facts and not phrases or, like Free Palestine, which... I agree with the Free Palestine, but you have to free Palestine from Hamas because they are a terror group. Israel has been a country under war. It makes things that I don't fully agree with, but they protect us most of the time.
Yeah.
So it's very complicated.
Your message is very clear to the audience to speak out about Israel and to help in any way that we can. Thank you very much, Hadass, for coming to our studio and sharing your story. En u ook thuis bedankt voor het kijken naar deze uitzending van Christen voor Israël. En u kunt op de hoogte blijven over de actualiteit en de achtergronden bij het nieuws. Ga daarvoor naar onze website cvi.nl/actueel. Daar kunt u allerlei informatie vinden en ook onze uitzendingen en onze podcasts. Dan Nogmaals, veel dank voor het kijken en graag tot de volgende keer.